you swept last week. So you got your 2-2-1 plus an extra point for sweeping. I got both of my 2-pointers missed on the Patriots Dolphins game. And that was just a bad game for us because you missed the over. I missed the spread. So fuck that game. But you're up first this week on the.
Yeah, I figured we were both in trouble when the Dolphins got that pick in the end zone to start the game.
That was it. That was it. Devontae Parker never heard from again after that either.
Yeah. All right. For my first pick of the week 2 Sunday 6-pack presented by FanDuel, I'm going with you guessed it, New England Patriots -2.5 at the Pittsburgh Steelers, the only team that we couldn't nail last week. I'm going right back to the well with, by the way, this is the first time this matchup doesn't feature either Big Ben or Tom Brady since Mac Jones, who is presumably healthy for this one with his back spasms, was 3 months old. That's how long it's been. Wow. And now we have Mac Jones versus Mitchell Trubisky. Big highlight here. It looks like Najee Harris should be good to go as well. And Mac Jones, there were some injury questions on both sides of the ball, but TJ Watt will not go. And that is just massive. I mean, the impact that he had on that game against Cincinnati last week, unbelievable. I mean, the back-to-back play, maybe the best back-to-back plays in NFL history from a defender. He tackles Burrow and Mixon in the backfield to blow up a running play, and then sits back a little bit and picks off Burrow the next play. Astounding. And if you look at the Steelers' defensive numbers with and without Watt over the years when he's missed games with injuries, it's bad. So I think they'll really miss his presence here. And I think with the Patriots, I'm still worried about the Patriots offense after what I saw last week, the play calling, the problems we saw in camp. But what I think they can still do is run the ball, and I think they'll be able to do it here with no Watt. That was the weakness of the Steelers' defense last year. So I think the Patriots will be able to control the clock, move the ball on the ground, and grind this Steelers defense down. The other side of the ball, I just ultimately don't trust Mitch Trubisky, this offensive line. And I think Belichick will have a solid game plan, and we might be hearing that old Mitchell was seeing ghosts, and there might be some calls for Kenny Pickett after this game. By the way, Belichick off a loss, 48-22 against the spread, 67%, covering by almost a touchdown a game. How about after a loss, 29-9 against the spread on the road, over 76%. Here's my favorite, 25-3 against the spread, 89.3% after a loss is either an underdog or a favorite of under a touchdown. So sometimes, he hasn't covered when they're like 10 to 14 point favorites. 25-3 is a dog or a favorite under a touchdown. Covering by 11 points per game. Yeah, a lot of that's Brady, but he's also 4-1 against the spread in that spot with Cam Newton, Mac Jones, and Matt Castle. And I tweeted out we're going to record this podcast, and someone was like, rah-rah. No, this is not the rah-rah spot. First of all, Tomlin's it's not a dog. It's 2.5. I consider it an underdog, over 3 in a spot where everyone's saying they have no chance. That's not the case here. They're 1-0 off of a big win, playing a Patriots team that looked awful last year. If anything, this is rah-rah for the Patriots. Speaking to that, since 2018, Mike Tomlin, after rah-rah, so after a straight-up upset when the Steelers were at least a 3-point underdog, which happened last week, 1-7 against the spread the next week. Anti-rah-rah. Give me the Pats to get this done on the road.
Yeah, the Pats, I mean, I was trying to buy low last week, man, and it just completely backfired. I mean, it felt like it was like a couple of plays, but they, at the same time, they did nothing the whole game. So like, even if those plays swing the other way and he doesn't get the interception and he doesn't give up the 4th down, like the Patriots still didn't really do anything. But like you said, it's just a spot, this is the Pittsburgh letdown spot. And this is kind of what you want to do in week 2. Like you said, we only have one data point. Pittsburgh could have lost. Like, how many touchdowns did Jamar Chase catch last week? Because I know he got 1, but he caught about 5, and somehow Pittsburgh won that game. So yeah, letdown spot for the Steelers.